Do you think you jungle well? The truth is that 99% of you are getting it so wrong. I'm about to teach you one simple trick that will allow you to jungle like the top 1% of challenger players. We're going to start by watching clips of multiple challenger junglers, and you will be able to see exactly what they do that makes them so good. This is Vasia, multiple rank 1 EU West. In this game, he sees the enemy jungler, the Viego, who he is stronger than, chase his Taliyah in his bot side jungle. This means that Viego afterwards will probably farm his raptors and naturally path towards his top camps. Because that will take a little bit of time, Vasia decides to do the scuttle crab after his raptors, and then he clicks towards Viego's wolves, doing them. But why? Why doesn't he do his red buff after raptors and then his krugs? Well, we're about to find out. When Viego sees the wolves are missing, he is probably just going to go to his gromp. That's the only logical thing here. Like, who wouldn't? And Vasia knows this too. He uses this terrain to block Viego's line of sight, and for a flashless Viego, this is just another death, unfortunately. This is Chaos, multiple rank 1 EU West. In this game, he runs out of base with a serrated Dirk against a Vi with just her jungle item. Vi needs to base, and we see Vi run off the mid wave towards her respawning top camps, raptors, and then she's probably going to go towards Krugs. So as Talon here, Chaos decides to do the crab first, and while he's doing crab, Vi is probably farming her raptors. And as Talon, is he alright? The best chance he has to kill the Vi is probably in between both camps. But why doesn't Chaos farm his whole blue buff quadrant here? Well, we're about to find out. It's because he kills the enemy jungler. This is Eagz, some troll Shaco player, and he sees the enemy Lee Sin bot here. He knows that Lee Sin is going to farm his Krugs and then his red buff, and then naturally path towards his top side. So what does Eagz do running out of base with a Cyclo sword and a big lead over the Lee Sin? Well, he drive-bys his raptors, and then he clicks towards Lee Sin's blue buff. But why doesn't he do his red buff and his Krugs? Well, let's see what happens. He queues over the wall preemptively, and what do you know? A blind, dead monk. This is Kirei, multiple challenger EU West. Kirei's team in this game is invading the enemy Rengar's bot side, but we don't see Rengar, who is scrub noob by the way. That therefore means that Rengar is starting on his blue buff and will probably go to Gromp afterwards. Kirei knows this, so he does his raptors and then clicks towards Rengar's blue buff quadrant. But why doesn't he do his red buff and his Krugs in his camps? Well, let's see what happens. He uses the terrain to block Rengar's line of sight. Where have we seen that before? And then he chases Rengar off Gromp and then baits him with Smite. This gets Rengar's flash.
I'm really being level 2 invaded on my blue side by an Elise?
Yes. Can you see the trend from these clips? Now let's watch what 99% of junglers do. In this Platinum game, Jarvan uses his flash and is almost a quarter HP by the time this level 1 randomness ends, and Viego knows that Jarvan will probably farm his blue buff first, but he's so delayed. This means that Viego will hit level 2 and then level 3 a lot quicker, giving him a big advantage over the Jarvan. Knowing that Jarvan is starting a blue buff and probably naturally pathing towards his top side, what does Viego do after killing his wolves? He clicks towards his raptors. It's quite deflating. Why doesn't he click towards Jarvan's raptor camp? Sit in the brush, wait for Jarvan to come through. He will be really low, but he doesn't. Why is that? You're about to find out. In this bronze game, the level 4 Shaco kills the level 3 Wukong. Who would have guessed? Then he recalls and runs out of base with a serrated Dirk. Now, knowing that Wukong is probably going to farm his bot camps that have respawned, the Shaco player, being the stronger champion here with a refreshed red buff, decides to click towards his Krugs. Again, it's a bit deflating. Why doesn't he click towards Wukong's Gromp and kill the Wukong on Gromp like we've seen all of those challenger players do? Well, the reason why, stay tuned. In this diamond game, the Rengar is 2-0-2. The enemy Udyr is 0-1-0 after this skirmish. Rengar decides to recall and he runs to top crab at a base, which is fine, because he knows that Udyr will probably farm his raptors before he gets there. So Rengar does crab and then blue buff quadrant afterwards. This is all fine. Now, when he passed towards his raptors, he should know that Udyr is pathing top to bot as well, like he did initially in this game. And also because the blue team has a juicy trinket on Udyr's Gromp, this makes it so enticing for Rengar to do something. So what does he do? He farms his raptors, maybe stacking off of them because he's Rengar, and then he clicks towards his Krugs, not the Udyr's Gromp. But why is this? This is because 99% of junglers only think about killing 4 champions on the enemy team. Top laner, mid laner, bot laners. They do not even think that they can kill the enemy jungler. And what rank are they? Everything below challenger. What do the top 1% of junglers do differently? All they do is include the enemy jungler into that menu. They can kill 5 champions. And what rank are they? All challenger. Apart from that Eagz guy. He's currently moaning his way back to master career and will do so and will hit challenger. So make sure you follow the stream at twitch.tv/Eagz. And also make sure to like the video, otherwise I'll jungle track you IRL. Don't be shy, bye.